There they are, waiting to come out to the table. Well done to Daniela Fonseca on simply being here, because she has had a very busy day so far. Just enjoyed a victory with Jorge Campos in the mixed doubles over in the other arena, the grounds of Qatar University. That match finished just in time for her to get over here, and now to turn her attention to the women's doubles competition. CHENXINGTONG and QIANTIANYI now waiting to take on these two young players from Cuba. It's the round of 64 in the women's doubles. ESTELA Crespo and Daniela Fonseca meeting CHENXINGTONG and QIANTIANYI. Best of 5 games in all of the doubles contests at these World Championships. For the first time, these athletes meet each other. Fonseca and Crespo 52 in the rankings. QIANTIANYI and CHENXINGTONG number 4 in the world. They are the number 3 seeds for this particular competition, but haven't played together since losing in the semi-finals of the WTT finals in Fukuoka last year. Bokja is the umpire and will hand over now for the toss of the coin.
All right, red and blue. What color do you want? Red. You blue, just blue. Receive.
So winning the toss of the coin, the Cubans, and
Who
choosing to receive.
start? 10. Right.
It is going to be quite some challenge for Estela Crespo and Daniela Fonseca. The Cuban partnership taking on CHENXINGTONG and QIANTIANYI. Gavin Maguire joins me for this contest. Well, I think, first of all, we've got to congratulate Daniela Fonseca on actually managing to get here in time for this after such a great win in the mixed doubles.
10's up. 10.
Yeah, she had a bit of a battle this morning, a 3-2 victory in her mixed doubles with Jorge Campos, and as you mentioned already, Ollie, she's done well to be here, so very little preparation going into this match in terms of a warm-up with her partner, but we know she'll be warm from having played 5 sets already this morning, and her eye will be in.
Very much a focus of her career, the mixed doubles. She won the Pan American Games gold medal with Campos at Santiago in 2023. And this is who she and Estela Crespo are now facing, the number 3 seeds. But as I mentioned, they haven't played together for a little while since losing to Hitomi Sato and Honoka Hashimoto in the WTT finals in Fukuoka on Kyushu Island in Japan last year. Number 3 seeds though, and a really tremendous partnership. 97% of you have gone with Chun and Chien. What is it, Gavin, that makes them such a difficult doubles combination to play against?
I mean, obviously they've got that advantage of the left hand, right hand, not against the Cubans, they also have the left hand, right hand, but it certainly serves in their favour to have that. And I think for me, QIANTIANYI, when we see how she receives with her backhand and how she dominates the table with her backhand, allowing, if anybody's even able to get it back, then QIANTIANYI is obviously ready to come in with that forehand smash after.
10 to serve.
They set each other up very well all the time.
It is time to begin the women's doubles round of 64. This is the first round at the World Table Tennis Championships finals. And we have in action the number 3 seeds in this competition. I know a lot of you out there play a lot of table tennis, watch a lot of table tennis. Some of you may be newer to watching the sport, and I think it's interesting for those people, Gavin, to reflect a little more on actually what it is that makes for such an advantage if you have the classical right-hand, left-hand combination?
Most importantly really is if you're a right-hand or a left-hand,
two.
it's actually that you have to move around each other. That's the number one. So left-hand, right-hand, they can stay on more or less one side of the table each and just step out. So it provides a lot more time and a lot more space for your partner to come in with their attack.
This being the first meeting between the partnerships, it may be a little while before we get a full sense of the complexion of the match, because they're sizing each other up, and one imagines that the Chinese players will know a little less about Fonseca and Crespo than the Cubans will know about them.
Certainly plenty of opportunities for video analysis against the Chinese pair. They've been out several times together on the tour.
That was phenomenal coverage from Crespo and Fonseca, but I mean, Chen and Chen look like they're basically standing there and directing traffic.
I think that's what's important to watch there in that replay, is how close they are to the table. They never allow themselves to be pushed back, whereas the Cuban pair just were forced back by the Chinese dominance.
Last time we had the opportunity at international level to see the Cuban pair teaming together was in a WTT in Venezuela. Fonseca, who's in the background there, is a two-time Olympian. The player on the right, Estela Crespo, we've not seen quite as much on the global stage.
9-4.
What I liked from her there, Ollie, was that shrug of the shoulders as she put that forehand past the Chinese pair. She said, okay, why don't I do that more often?
4-10.
6 game points. And one well saved.
10.
They've got good depth on the serve.
11.
But
game 2.
it is the game for the
10.
Chinese partnership. Returned that really well.
Yeah, it's really been the tale of day 1 and day 2 that they're doing everything correctly here, the Cubans, but it's just the power and the consistency of the Chinese pair.
11-5 in the opening game to Chen and Chen. Such a busy day of competition, and what a win for Charlotte Lutz in the first round of the women's singles. Yi Eun-hye beaten, and look at the reaction from Lutz. Could barely believe it. Into the second round for the French player. The plot is thickening at these World Table Tennis Championships. This is the last day of opening round play. 9-day event. And I hope you'll be able to be with us for as much of it as possible. No, forget that. I hope you're with us for the whole thing. Cancel all your plans. Tell everyone you've gone on holiday. Sit back, watch, relax and enjoy all of the action from Doha 2025. So let's see what the second game brings us.
Who do you want to serve? Okay. Crespo serve, just a minute. Yeah. Crespo. Second game, Crespo to serve. Double.
You mentioned, Gavin, that the Cuban partnership have essentially done the right things, they just haven't received the right outcome. Without asking you too unpleasant a question about your own experience as a player, what does that feel like when you're getting everything right, but yet you're not scoring points?
Yeah, it's a difficult feeling. I suppose there's two ways of looking at it, Ollie. For these guys out here on table one, you have to feel positive if you're able to produce good table tennis in this kind of world stage. But of course, they want to win points, they want to win games and matches, so it is slightly frustrating to feel that as well.
In life, in whatever we do, it's much easier to make improvements if we can concretely feel A, B and C are what we need to change, and if I grab hold of this and do something about it, then things will get better. It's got to be a much tougher feeling to go, well, I'm not even entirely sure what I can do here, but I need to do something.
Exactly that. There's no clear path to victory for the Cubans here. It's going to take a serious performance, and the level has got to be raised a little bit, but for me, they're playing well at the moment.
And there, a reminder of that inaugural appearance at the Olympiad. Daniela Fonseca, Tokyo and Paris, immortalised in ink form. Again, a lot that was well done.
Yeah, staying in the rally. And this time what I'm impressed is they're staying closer to the table. Just a little off balance there, but they are finding a way. Clearly took the coach's message that they need to stay close.
2-7. That 2-7.
Oh, what a good point.
7-3.
Yeah, we've seen that quite a lot. They're actually serving long against CHENXINGTONG-DANIELA. That's obviously to avoid that backhand flick that I spoke about in the beginning.
Oh, yes, well.
7-4, 8-3. Okay.
Yeah, certainly did clip. That's a wonderful point, pushing the number 3 seeds around the table.
Really well constructed, using the whole table and every angle they can find. And that's what they need to do to win points against this pair. That's how difficult it is.
Five, 8.
What a nice example of decision making.
6.
Yeah, brilliant there. Almost thought about going for that big forehand attack, but said no, I'm not quite there. I'm going to do a little soft guide and then use the angle on the follow-up.
You could actually see the change of mind, couldn't you? Just the right time.
Nine, 6.
And often so difficult to do those things, to change your mind and go a little bit more passive maybe against this style of player. They force you into thinking you have to do so much sometimes.
Lots of positives
7,
here.
9.
And they celebrate as a team after that point.
They've certainly stepped up the level. The Cuban pair really finding chances to attack, and as we said, remaining close to the table is the key.
7, 10.
And after all that good work, they nonetheless face 3 game points.
7,
and
11.
it is the game
Game
taken
2,
by
10.
a 3-point or 4-point margin, I should say, by Chen and Chien. A closer game, certainly, than the previous one. But regrettably, for Fonseca and Crespo, still the same outcome. 5 and 7 points, their haul over the first 2. world rankings in the women's doubles week 20 of the season. And we're looking here at the number 4 ranked partnership in the world. At number 3 seeds, CHENXINGTONG and CHENXINGTONG-DANIELA. They require, the Chinese partnership, just one more game. And that will earn them a spot in the second round. And a meeting with Sabine Winter and Wang Yuan.
One love.
The German pair beating Ayaan Mohamed Majdi and Mariam Mohammed 11-1, 11-6, 11-4.
Love 2.
Yes, it was a good win over Ayaan Mohamed Majdi and Mariam Ali for Winter and Wang Yuan.
One, two.
Yeah, nice from Crespo and Fonseca there. It's very important that they stay close in this early stages of this third game if they want to have a chance.
This is what we so often see in what ultimately turns out to be a terminal game. The leading partnership getting an early bit of scoreboard pressure on the opponents, and that's what we've got here, 4-1. It's a real team spirit in the Cuban ranks. Fonseca is a player of great humility.
5-1,
Another fine example of the Chinese player just dictating all of the movement.
So controlled. Even one slightly off balance still manages to find the angle, and CHENXINGTONG-DANIELA is always there with that backhand so wide.
1-6. Deck. Seven, 1.
Interesting that no timeout has been deployed.
That's a nice smash.
7-2.
I think at this stage, Ollie, with the timeout, it's really about breaking momentum, you know, rather than tactics. I mean, what can we say now at this stage when the Chinese pair is playing as they are with so much comfort and clear favourites now?
Is it that sometimes as a player you just need a moment to breathe, a moment to stop?
Absolutely. You need a moment for yourself, but more importantly in a game like this, you just need a moment to slow your opponent down.
2-8.
Well, this is just very good, isn't it? It's just that simple. Accomplished table tennis from Chen and Chen. And they are racing to the finish line. 8 match points.
We
just remind ourselves that Daniela Fonseca has only just won a really important and very demanding mixed doubles match. Oh, good rescue. Really well done, staying in the competition for at least one more point after the net cord came into play. And there we see on the right arm the Paris 2024 tattoo to accompany the Tokyo one. Oh, they're really putting up a fight at the end.
They've certainly loosened up here in the last stages of the game, or what may be or should be the last stages of the game.
5-11.
And there it is, after a brief resurgence from ESTELA Crespo and Daniela Fonseca. The win is with the number 3 seeds, CHENXINGTONG and CHENXINGTONG-DANIELA. And they do it in straight games, 11-5, 11-7, 11-5. On they go to the round of 32, the second round of the women's doubles competition, where they will meet Sabine Winter and Wang Yuan, the German partnership